love Hot 6. Now, in the upper right, in the red, our Zerg player beating the Game Genie Terran. He is...
Curious.
Oh, dude, we totally synced that up with the Korean broadcast. That actually came out at the exact same time. That was so cool. In the blue, in the bottom left, the Game Genie Terran, the Baleen Whale nerd, he is...
I am MVP.
A lot of support in the studio today for MVP. I'm sure they're all Terran players who need to learn the game. Just don't leave the code ass, man. We need to see what they need to do. I need to copy your builds.
I think he'll get right back in even if he does leave,
of course, man.
Beginning to look like. But you know, he could come back. Why not?
Well, Code S is like nerd quicksand artosis. I mean, the nerd's just in quicksand.
That's true.
Away.
And you know what? Nerds be a wiggling, and that's what that's what makes you sink quicker.
They're wiggling around.
Notice Alive how he just sat in his base, not moving?
Yeah.
And he waited until he could grab a stick and pull himself out?
Yeah.
That stick was called Mech.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
You're clever.
Thanks.
All right, so the SCV just wants to drive out the drone, so the drone can't harass the SCVs.
It's a very thoughtful SCV.
Yeah. He says, "Don't you touch him." He like slows down that drone from chasing the SCV. He's like just mess with him in every possible way.
It's true.
Yeah.
It happened. I saw it.
He's like, I don't want you to see where I went off to. You know, like, it's actually what happened, man.
Yeah. It's good. It's well done, Tastes. Well, very quick expansion by MVP here. Will we see him follow up with a Reactor Talon build?
I don't think we're going to see him do the same strat that he did in game number 1. I'm actually even sort of surprised he did that strat in game number 1.
I don't think he'll mech, but I mean it's a possibility, I guess. I'd like to see MVP maybe, well, probably just play his normal great TVZ, because it's some of the best TVZ in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like he could on this map go up there and just punish and hurt Curious. You know, it's hard for Zerg to get a 4th base on this map.
So, the time for this SCV to be alive is over. Do you generally feel like the Terran should hide the SCV before the links come out, or is it more important to just see how many Zerglings are made right away?
You know, I think it's fine the way he's doing it right now, because he can actually, if he really wants to get that SCV home, or, as we see, he just went off in a different
Curious
direction.
just wasn't actually even paying attention.
Yeah, it looks like Curious wants to go over there and see if he can maybe rough up some Marines. But, you know, the micro of MVP, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to do that. And here we go. Oh, or he just won't micro quickly. And still has more than enough.
Whoa, dude.
What?
MVP is 8-0 on Antigua Shipyard.
That's pretty
That's a pretty good map for MVP then. I'm really not surprised he picked that map.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just pick that map I never have lost a game on.
4-1 for Curious, though. And, you know, in a lot of ways... Let me think of the right word. I have to use the right word for this.
Yeah. Handsome. Yes, I'm handsome.
Yes,
right?
you are.
Yes,
oh, that was it.
Yeah,
that was,
okay.
Thank you, Tastes.
Now, what about that set?
Yeah. Hold on one second. Okay, Zerg, in a lot of ways, high-level Zerg, so far, is more volatile than high-level Terran. You know? It's like they can kind of randomly die a little bit more.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, yeah.
So 4-1 for Curious is really impressive on this map as well.
No, it absolutely is. And by the way, we had a shot of it, but he's making a bunker at the Zerg's natural 3rd base.
Yeah, that's
and I love that. We had some of that early on in StarCraft 2, and people just sort of stopped doing it. But, I mean, think about it. If you can just delay a hatchery...
Yeah, why not? 25 minerals for a delay?
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Not just a delay, you have to send units up there to attack it. And then he knows where the units are, and he is going Reactor
And if he sends just one, then you wait a while before you destroy it. So that means there's a lot of stuff you can do with it.
Make him commit to it a little bit. Well, Curious, not starting his lair yet, is getting a macro hatch in all of his gas. Oh, Curious can't be happy about that. Is he going to lose any? No targeting by MVP. Just bruising both of them.
That's not very efficient. I really do not feel like MVP is playing at his best right now.
I know what you mean, yeah. It doesn't...
It's just, I feel like I'm watching one of the other Terrans in the GSL. Like
a good Terran, a very good Terran.
If we were in a contest, and you said, who is playing, Nick? And I wasn't allowed to know who was playing, I had to guess. For like $1 million because we need to organize a contest like that.
I would have said Alive tonight was MVP for sure. The way he was playing, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Or some other Terran if I didn't know what group was what. I would never guess MVP. And that's just, it's kind of weird. Everybody has off days.
I would guess Curious is Curious, though. He's playing just like Curious plays.
Yeah, that's true. Curious is playing his normal play style.
Curious hasn't seen that bunker yet. He's going to send a drone up there at some point and be like, oh!
No, I know. He's going to be like, oh, come on, man.
Are the Hellions slowing down my expansion not good enough for you?
It's like when you hide a Dark Templar somewhere on the map in the course of where a drone would have to be sent
yes.
to get a hatchery, and they send like 6 drones, and they're like, what? I thought I sent a drone there. They're like, the game's not doing what I tell it to.
My 2 vultures that shoot up to kill your probe going to your third base every time. Good times. Well, MVP with his quick third, actually getting that before Curious is going to make Curious pretty upset. And MVP already getting siege mode, so he's just playing so intelligently, saying, all right, you know, I'm getting this really quick base. The siege tank should provide the stability for it. And he's right. You know, he's most likely going to be stable for it. But what will Curious do here? Because here's the thing. He has 1-1 on the way. His Spire's going to finish up pretty quick, and he already has a macro hatch. So against the very sparse units of MVP, we've seen players like Lenok in this exact situation go in and hit with everything they've got. They wait for that 1-1, run in there with a ton of Zerglings, some Banelings,
that
your
can
mutas.
work on this map especially.
Yeah, and it might possibly work here if Curious wants to go for it. Will he go for it? I don't think so, no. But I'm just throwing that out there.
I want to point out something that is another indicator that MVP is not playing well today.
Sure.
He has Stim upgraded, and then he already has queued next to that the combat shields.
Yeah.
That's actually, guys, that's actually pretty bad. I mean, for a Codes player to have, and he queued him up back to back. You were talking, but he queued him up right at the start. I mean, that means he is just not playing efficiently because that, you know, those extra minerals and gas could have been spent on something else.
Yeah.
And the fact that MVP is double queuing an upgrade, a Codes champion is just double queuing that, means he's not, and it is not a part in the game where you need to queue up a whole bunch of stuff.
You know what, Tasteless? I just can't say no to you.
I know, man.
It's a problem I have. All right.
Well, do you agree? I think it's like a bit shocking. Like,
it's not what I expect for sure out of him.
Yeah, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but I'm just like, come on, man, that's MVP.
No, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're right.
Oh my God, he didn't kill a single drone there.
Wow. Got him really low though.
He like melted a few drone faces, but they can still mine with those faces.
Yeah, I guess they can. They might have to wear a mask if they, you know, self-conscious, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do? A second Spire on the way.
What? Whoa!
For upgrades. That's my take on it too.
Well, of course, upgrades. man. He wants to keep that Spire there, so if that one dies, he still has another Spire, man.
Hey, man.
It's a backup Spire.
I've done that. But, you know, even if that was a mistake, second Spire, which definitely I would say wasn't.
No, because of the time.
When I see that I have 2 Spires, I just upgrade anyways.
Yeah,
like, well, now I got to make this look like I'm not stupid. When in fact, oops.
It's like in StarCraft 1 where you accidentally get like 2 academies. You're like, all right, guys, I got to get blind now. I don't know.
Oh, Baneling landmines all over the place.
Oh, MVP. Oh, he knows.
Pretty good creep spread by Curious. I love the fact he has 4 bases up. I love the double Spire.
I think this is going to be a game where Terran will probably have to push into the main instead of going for these different expansions.
Yes.
Once Zerg gets the upper left expansion, they do not need to. Terran really can't just continuously hit it unless he. What's oh my God, he's making 20 Mutalisks at once?
Yes, you can see this.
Oh my
that's
word.
a lot, man. That is so much. And that's going to catch MVP a little bit off guard. He has a good amount of turrets, though, actually, already. I'm looking around. And like a scary good amount of turrets. So this is gearing up to be an extremely long game. Double Spire, double eBay, 20 mutas at once, good creep spread, cross spots, 4 base against 3. Beautiful.
Nice interception there until he went away, and then he came back and killed it. That was sick.
Well said, Basis.
Thank you.
Oh man, 2 very red tanks there. And not
just be so embarrassed, man. Oh my God, it's like you finish each other's sentences
at the exact same time.
Wow. Oh my God.
Weeding out too much.
Yeah.
It needs to stop. Cases, we're no longer friends.
Okay. So, the Mutalisks. Oh my God, hold that thought.
Oh man, his Muta's just getting
from every
caught.
angle here. Only one dies though.
And now we have a max MVP against a 180 Curious. Curious in a lot of troubles. You know, he got 2 Spires to upgrade his Mutas and then lost a bunch of them. You have to be so careful with those Mutas. They are your lifeblood here.
All right. There's no need for Curious to attack into this yet. He should try to get maxed. He should try to have the proper amount of banelings. Uh-oh, he's baiting out some. All right. Lucky for him, he didn't lose the gas. There's keep making a massive amount of Mutalisks. A murder of Mutas. All right, another drop coming up here. MVP has to be very careful with his decision-making here.
Yeah.
He is giving up supply when he does this.
He also needs another scan as well. He needs to clear up the creep tankers.
Oh, okay.
He cannot have creep under his army right now. That is just so dangerous.
Well, the Banelings hit you so fast.
Yeah. The Zerglings even faster.
All right, here we go.
Oh my God, the Banelings went first. The Zerglings lag behind. And that is a lot of Mutalisks.
Any good connections here? Well, you did kill off the siege tanks, but how many mutas are left in this Artosis?
We have only 9 left. Really, he's lost so much at this point. Oh God. Well, with the Zerglings coming, it looks like he will barely clean some. Oh man, money Thor shots there at the end.
All right, so he's gonna get that Queen's Nest. Let's see if he can intercept the Snope. It's not gonna be enough time.
Oh man, and the Mutas continue to fall for Curious, and MVP is looking like he is going to extend his winning streak on this map.
All right, here we go. There's certainly spilling in here now. He's going to go for... No, he's actually going to save that hatchery.
Yep.
Well, this game will still go on.
It will for some time. 151 to 135 supply with Curious in the lead there, but don't forget Curious lost a base. He lost a lot of his Mutas. He's invested heavily into Mutas.
Oh God, everything counts right now. You can't afford to lose those Zerglings.
You know, he only has 13
a greater
Mutas
Spire
left.
too.
Yeah. He does have 2-1 upgrades, which is really nice on Mutas, and 2-1 on his ground units, but MVP has 3-3 on the way. His 4th base coming up.
That is a planetary too that's going to be pretty hard to actually hit.
And those minerals used to be gold.
Yeah. It's true. And here's the thing about Antigua Shipyard, Artosis. The ships used to be here, but they all left. Because they heard that MVP.
These are important things we got to point out.
Guys, you got to pay attention. All right, so he gets that hatchery. As that hatchery, almost simultaneously, as that hatchery is picked off, the expansion that was once picked off for Curious now pops up.
Well, he does clear up everything else with those Mutas up there. Has Corruptors on the way, but does not look like it's going to be in time, Tasteless. This game is quickly drawing to an end.
This game is over. MVP was too good this game. MVP coming back. We'll see.
And, well, he still has a decent amount of supply, Curious does, but here it goes into this base.
And no, that's it. That is going to have to be the end. GG.
GG. All right.
Really well done by MVP there. There was a point in time where I did not know who was going to win that. And you know what? I think Curious could have won that if in that big... Oh, excuse me, I just choked. If in that big attack where MVP was outside of Curious's 3rd base, he had sent the Zerglings first, and then the Banelings in with that. The Zerglings are not necessarily supposed to kill the stuff. They're supposed to do
take some damage,
and then the Banelings blow everything up. Then there's no anti-air, and the Mutalisks speed up the rest.
You know, overall, he lost too many Mutas that game. He was really heavily upgrading them, and they weren't really harassing any well. MVP had great turret placement, great unit movements, and all that. but he was losing a lot of them in confrontations throughout the entire game. And that's a big part of it, because when you're investing that heavily into mutas, you're buying that many mutas, you need to keep them alive. You need to make them count. They need to be your focal point. And they really weren't. He was treating them like they were 1-0 mutas, not 2-1 mutas, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, they are so valuable. MVP actually did a pretty interesting push there, where he actually did a contain and said, I can't go in there, but I can send a small army and sacrifice it.
I like that.
Over at the upper left.
Nice spread and all.
That's like not common. That's not a common technique in this matchup, at least, in TVZ. So I enjoyed that. We're going to go on to game number 3. And, well, who do you think will take it?
I actually think MVP will probably still take it, even though it's Curious's map choice, even though Curious is playing well. You know, I always believe in MVP.
Well, you kind of have to be crazy to just not assume that MVP is
Well, he's like so smart and so good. And just so good under pressure?
Yeah, it seems almost like in this series he's picked the wrong builds a couple times, which is just not normal for him.
No, it's not normal for him at all. But
I mean, granted, his execution was a little bit sloppy in some of these games. He's
now
won
that
a game
I see
to
the
be
map
back
that's
in his
been
element.
chosen, Curious has chosen Crossfire.
Oh.
And from the game that we saw here before from Curious against Alive, I'm like, I think MVP can take this.
I think MVP would play better than Alive in TVZ on that map.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I do. I really do think so.
But maybe Curious will get through.
We'll see.
We're going to find out.
I don't know, man. No telling not knowing.
Right? Uh-oh. The jacket is coming off, guys.
Crap.
Uh-oh.
Curious.
He's
You
rolling
better
up
take
his
off your
sleeves.
jacket and your shirt.
Yeah, that's the only way. He is, MVP almost looks like a little bit sick or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I think that's us like making stuff up because
maybe
he's losing. We're like,
actually
this can't be right.
Maybe he's actually just such a sick nerd baller that I kind of picked up on just part of it.
Oh.
I didn't get all of it.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I judoed my way out of that one.
You really did.
In a moment here, as the game is now loaded, it will be Curious up against MVP, a Zerg, the only Zerg in this group, up against the #1 Terran, the #1 ranked player here in the GSL Code S.